Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
In this video, I'll share with you my thoughts on facing stress, pressure, or the problems of life. This topic was inspired by a couple of conversations I had with paid clients. All right. So watch the video, and if you feel you can add something of value, feel free to comment down below. For those of you who are brand new to my channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I am a coach consultant. People book my services for personal or professional reasons, but my core area of expertise is helping people get well-paying jobs in the Middle East, especially UAE, Dubai. So now what happens is, people generally, whenever they talk to me or they send me a message, they always share their problems. If they are my clients, they are seeking an opinion, or they are seeking a different point of view, or they see if I can help them out. Otherwise, it's just a conversation. They want someone with experience to guide them. Now, one thing I will tell you, it's very easy to give advice, very easy. For example, someone comes to you, I have this problem. People like to put on their, I fix it, I am smart, I am intelligent, I'll solve all your problems in life, like to be a guru or some kind of, know-it-all. And I think if you search online, on social media, you will get enough and more of gurus and experts and people who will literally lecture you on life. Okay? Anyone from a Sadhguru to an Osho to some of these internet coaches who have the answers for everything. Nowadays, anyone can be a coach or mentor and tell you what is this, solution to life. Okay. Now, I'll not pretend like I know all the answers, but I definitely can give you a perspective based on my experience. Now, I'll give you an example, okay? I'll give you an example so it can make sense. I'm pretty sure most of you have had to study for an exam, okay? For Indians, the examination is a matter of life and death. And the most important examination for Indian students is when they are, Delhi students is CBSE. Like when they go the class 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, okay? Especially when choosing, let's say, commerce, arts, or science. You have to take a stream. And I'll tell you, you might find it funny if you have not experienced it, or you'll think it's very silly. But parents put so much of pressure on their children about choosing the right stream. Oh, this will determine your life, your future. If you fail in the exam, it's better you're dead. They put so much of pressure on the youngsters, or there's so much of pressure from society. There are many cases where students have actually committed suicide. And I'm not joking, They couldn't handle the pressure. It is that bad. And many parents, they literally take it upon themselves to make it bigger than what it is. See, education is important. Education qualifications are important. Getting a degree or a paper that shows that you have completed college and to apply for jobs in these countries is important. But if you make it so scary as a matter of life and death, then people don't know how to react. See, there are some people who can take pressure and there are some who cannot. And then there are many who have never faced pressure, that they don't know what to do. And this is where, Many people, especially youngsters, they're like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life, I don't want to live. Okay, now this is one example. But when after 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, when you go back in time, when you go ahead in time and you look back, you feel it's so silly. Like when I look back, when I was 16 years old, and what my parents were telling me, what society was telling me, what everyone was telling me, I feel it's so silly. Seriously, I feel it's so silly. Very loud noise, I know. I feel it's so silly the way they made it sound as if life and death. Now see, I'm not trying to discount the importance of that decision. But if you make it more scary than what it is, it beats the purpose. Luckily for me, I was able to embrace the pressure and shine. There are some people who, under pressure, they shine. Now that is one. Like this, you can look at many other examples, like relationship. When a boy loves a girl or a girl loves a boy and she is going to break up with him, that pressure, that stress of, a love relationship breaking up. Say a marriage. In our Indian societies, let this guy go away. Some people, the louder their scooter is, even if it's slow, it's a mark of big, whatever, ego. They think it's a Harley. Anyway. So for some people, marriage, especially in our Indian society, marriage is a matter of life and death. Marriage is a social, badge of honor. And if your marriage breaks up, or you're divorced, or separated, it's a matter of shame, especially if you're a woman. And there are some people whom, when they get divorced, they take it so personally. They feel they cannot live, they cannot survive. In fact, forget the marriage. There are many cases where if a boy or girl break up, they can't handle the breakup. They feel life is not worth living. But then, if you look many years later and you look back, you feel it's so silly. Okay, now let me give you another example. Job. There are many of us who want a dream job. If I get this job, it's my dream. But after getting the job, many times they realize it is not as perfect as they thought. Maybe the boss was not as nice as they expected it. The colleagues are not so welcoming. Maybe the environment is pressurizing. Maybe the people there are so toxic. You don't know how to take it. And then the fear of losing the job. In fact, my biggest fear in UAE was losing the job. I really, I'm not joking. For me, losing the job was, I thought, worse than death itself. And the first time when I did lose my job or I had visa problem, the first time, this is when I was, I think, 18, 19, 20, whatever. I was crying and sobbing and I was so afraid. I thought I was, literally couldn't breathe, man. I thought I was so much with fear that I thought I was going to die. But here's a funny thing. After that, I got so used to it. I lost, I think, as to purposely make sure that I lose a job. 32 or 33 jobs I changed in a span of few years itself. I didn't care a damn. See, so on one side it is having fear, and on the other side it is being totally numb to fear. Now, either case is not good, either extreme. Like for example, lately if you see on social media, there was this French daredevil who I think fell down from the 70th floor and died. Now, I'm pretty sure he was always afraid, he was always scared. But he took the risk and he believed he could conquer anything, never make a mistake. This one mistake cost his life. Like that accident I had, the guy who smashed into my scooter, he was driving with no fear. Like so many of them don't wear a helmet. So many of them, they speed drive. You see that guy, the scooter making so much. They speed drive, they race, they don't wear any helmet, nothing. So not having any fear also is very dangerous. So there should be a balance between both. One is having fear versus not having fear. But don't blow things out of proportion that if this happens, oh my goodness, this is going. Be realistic about it. And one last thing I'll tell you. You know, when you now, at the age of 46, when I look back at my life, the fears, the worries, the stress, the pressures, work, marriage, school, education, worrying about the future, worrying about when I become older, what will I do? You know, when I look back, I feel how funny, how silly, you know. But at the same time, that doesn't mean they didn't occupy any importance, and that doesn't mean today I have no fear. See, we all have fears. No matter who it is on social media, even if it's The Rock, even if it is some celebrity star, movie star, singer, politician, whomsoever. Okay, all of them have fears. All of them have fears. All of them are worried, but they don't show it. Why? Because what's the point of showing it? Yeah, there are some models and females who, oh, I'm vulnerable, oh, they cry and they show, take a photo, oh, I'm crying, and that all is bullshit. Okay, that is seeking attention. Being vulnerable is fine. Dramatizing it and putting it on social media to score points, that's stupid. I've also cried in front of the camera, but I never planned. It just came out. So I let that be. If you see one of my older videos where I was in Dubai and had to say bye-bye to both my dogs. It was a video that I just wanted to talk and say goodbye to my dogs because I was leaving Dubai. But I ended up crying like crazy because I loved my dogs that time. So that was a different phase. So the conclusion that I want to give you is, see, we all have fears, we all have imperfections, we all have challenges, we all have problems, okay, all of us. Even if it's a Sadhguru or even if it's a Narendra Modi, you do not know their personal lives. Even if it's Donald Trump or whomsoever, your CEO, your friend, your superheroes, but don't blow them out of proportion in your head. And at the same time, don't be like, nothing is going to happen to me, nothing can touch me, I challenge you, I defy you. No, then you'll get destroyed. Like what I told you in terms of like racing or even taking risks in business. Don't reach a stage where you're so overly confident, William, nothing can happen. Why do you think so many people in cryptocurrency, they lost everything? Overconfidence, no fear. Nothing bad will happen to me, only bad will happen to them. That's why they get jacked. So I hope this video gave you a little perspective about life, dealing with pressure, stress, and see, listen, if you really can't handle it, talk to someone who's close to you, who's mature, who is your well-wisher. Please don't call me, I have enough and more. I don't want all the girls and guys and, you know, like I say, freeloaders calling me up. I have enough on my plate. Call your family member, call your friend, call someone. So call them, talk to them and seek help. There's nothing wrong in seeking help, and eventually you'll find someone. I myself go through a lot of challenges. I have my mentor, I have somebody who I talk to, and it's confidential. I never share it with anyone, and most of the other things I keep it locked inside. So have that support circle, and like I said, don't take things too much to the heart and blow them out of proportion. All right, this is all I wanted to share with you. And one final thing as a bonus, if anytime you feel your problems are the worst, anytime, oh, job loss, look at someone in Syria, look at someone in the poorest of the poor, someone who has cancer, someone who has multiple sclerosis, someone who lost their hands, their legs. See a single mother who's begging on the streets and who has lost her husband. In fact, the Syria example is the one I give my clients. Just imagine you had a life, these forces bombed everything, and now you're living in a hut as a refugee. You, your wife, your 3 kids, so you can't even escape, you can't even run away. And every day they can't even apply for a job. There's no internet, there's no TV, there's no video, there's no entertainment. And every day their only goal, the only agenda that they have, or only hope that they have, is this Red Cross or someone to give them free rice. Just rice and fresh water. And they run, they fight, they take this rice, they feed their wife, their child. And the water they have to manage with that. Even going to the toilet, there's no water. So would you want a life like that? There are even people who in the war have lost their hands, legs, are blind. Would you want a life like that? So look at people who are worse off than you. I know it's very easy for me to say, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discount your pressures and problems. Face them, but always take inspiration knowing there are people worse off. If they can fight it, what's my excuse? All right? I'll give you one final sentence before I conclude. Count your blessings. Seriously, count your blessings, be grateful. Have a heart filled with gratitude, and you'll do just fine. That's all I want to tell you. Anyway, you let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly. What do you feel like? This is me signing off. You guys take care. All right?